Everybody, Lawler here. As always, we've got some exciting news to talk about. Primarily, I think a lot of us have been looking for stuff to do within the game, and some things we've preached about in the past directly showing the results of what happens when you guys actually interact. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just yesterday, they announced monthly cash cups. And if you guys aren't familiar with what a cash cup is, this is something that obviously is very much so familiar for those that are into the Fortnite space with Epic Games, where they would put on regular tournaments that if you were in Fortnite, you could go in game, you could click a button and basically have the ability to compete for tens of thousands of dollars. And it was seamless. There was no hesitation with it because they have your Epic account already there. It was an easy one-to-one for payouts. And it was something that for just the community as a whole, whether you are a big streamer or a small streamer, it gave you something to look forward to. People have been asking for a long time of more involvement when it comes to the in-game tournament system. And while I do think a lot of times the features that Rocket League implements in the game feel like a afterthought, where it's like they put out the update, but then they don't do like the following up portion of making it what it could truly be. This is something we've been asking for a really long time. Obviously, the driving force behind Epic Games is how many people are playing our game, because they hope the more people playing their game will then transfer over to how many people are spending money on our game. This is a good incentive and a good way of doing it, and it is a direct correlation to how their funding for other tournaments happened in the past. While some of this is good, there's also some concerns that I have, and we'll talk about those in a bit here. But primarily, monthly cash cups, every single month from now until the end of the year, they are going to be spreading $390,000 worth of tournaments across the board. These are going to differ. It's not just going to be ones, twos, threes. There's going to be a bunch of different iterations, and we'll talk about specifically those at the bottom of this post. But once a month, every single month for the remainder of the year, there will be a tournament that is open to everyone that you can sign up and play in. These are because if you guys remember the off-season opens and Champions Road opens, where we talked about, hey, if you guys want to see more of these, you have to sign up, you have to show interest. It looks like they got that feedback. It looks like people did sign up, people did play in them. So for them, it made sense to sign up and make more and make it consistent. But to me, I think the best part is knowing that this is locked in. This is going to be the next 8 months. This is something that is happening. So that's pretty great. I'm very happy about that kind of stuff. With all those things being in mind, the way that this is going to break down is based upon whatever queue type it is, whether it's ones, twos, threes, what have you. If there is more than just you, it is going to take an average of what your competitive rank is in that mode, and that is how you will be seeded. The nice thing is that it's very easy to do, considering you have to sign up and link your accounts when you sign up. All these are already posted on the Start GG hub. If you guys aren't familiar with Start GG, it is what is easily and readily available to find any tournaments. You just go to it, you search Rocket League in the search bar, stuff pops off. It's a very easy way to find like $100 weeklies and all that kind of stuff. But these will all be under a big hub. I will link this post in the description down below. You can find all the information you need. Same with all the registration pages. So if you guys want to go sign up for those preemptively, put them in your calendar right away. Very easy way to do it. They're going to be starting on the 22nd of this month, which is next week, I think Tuesday. And it is a 1v1 mode. They do have different dates for Mina. Mina is always a day in advance, just because of time zone differences and stuff like that. But it's going to be starting with 1v1. So if you're a 1v1 player, I expect Wavy or Diaz probably to win it in North America. Wavy is probably like ecstatic, a bunch of off-season tournaments for him to go and win. But it's going to start with 1v1s. And then a month later, it's going to be 2v2s. Then we go back to 1v1s, then back to 2v2s. Then they do 3v3 Rumble, 2v2 Hoops, 3v3, 1v1, and 3v3. So again, a wide variety of different game modes. Some people don't like the fact that it's 2v2 Hoops and Rumble, but at the same time, it is good to provide something other than just ones, twos, threes, where it's pros just earning more and more money. This is meant to be for everyone. While yes, if pros go and compete in these things, I've also seen pros, like a really high level pro, team up with a Hoops main, and then they go and just dominate. It's a good way to showcase stuff. And the hope is that all of these can either be streamed by either community members or by production teams or what have you. And if not, I hope whoever is playing in them streams their run. It is a really good opportunity to hopefully get and garner some attention. If you're playing well in the bracket, people are pretty invested in this stuff. I would assume you're going to see the big names and the big streamers take advantage of that as well. I can tell you I will not be. I don't even think I have Rocket League installed right now, if I'm being honest with y'all. So again, for those that are actually competing and with a chance, payouts and stuff, someone did post first place, I think, is getting anywhere from like 3K to like 1K, and it drastically changes from there. But payouts actually go pretty deep. So if you're one of those that can make like a top 128 type mentality, chances are you can earn a couple bucks. You're gonna have to split that through your teams unless you're dominant in ones, but still a kind of a cool thing to do. On the contrast to all of this being a positive thing, because that has been the general narrative with Rocket League lately, is them adding in long-awaited and much requested features. My concern as someone who does do third-party events, it is, what does that mean for third-party events? Obviously, this is only one few short days. It's like 2-3 days out of the month. But what does that mean for off-season events when it comes to public funding? As someone who ran the Apex last year with Lethamir, we did receive funding from Epic to put on a more unique event. Does that mean the same thing for the Salt Mine guys? What does that mean for like Rizzo and JamesBot and the stuff that they've been doing? What does that mean for all the third-party tournaments, all the things like Flip and Spin and all that kind of stuff? Are those going to get support and financing from Epic? Or has they basically kind of turned their head and been like, you know what? We've got a better opportunity by just doing this ourselves. My hope for the future is that this eventually, when we do have like a UE5 type Rocket League client, is that we don't have to use a third-party site like StartGG to see, track, see results, find out what the actual, like, how the tournament's going. Like, my wish is that I can click on an in-game thing. It brings me to a menu in-game, and then it details who's winning, how the results are, where things are, how I can watch these people on stream. It's all embedded in the game. I think one of the biggest issues I have, and obviously these are limitations with UE3, is because it is all third-party. Everything we do is not intrinsically in the game because it just doesn't and cannot work with UE3. So, again, more pressure is being put on the UE5 update and what could be, but my assumption is if they do eventually go to that route, which is the hope for either this year or next year, especially with the 10-year anniversary approaching, is that instead of doing these third-party, these end up becoming a thing that prompts you in-game, that you sign up, you play, everything is handled in-game, you don't have to leave the client, and it makes it super seamless. That is the goal for the future. If they can do that, I think we're in a pretty good spot, just because it is one extra thing that we get to do and look forward to. So by we, I mean you guys, because I'm not playing Rocket League right now. With that in mind, if you guys do have any additional questions, don't forget, link in the description down below on the Cash Cups. If you have any thoughts, opinions, ideas, some people are really happy about this. Some people could care less. But for those that are just looking for something to play into with some stakes in the way, this is another good way to earn experience. And while, yes, you may not be able to beat the pros, it is a cool opportunity to play against them. Maybe clickbait it, make some content. Maybe you clip on someone. Not a bad idea. Either way, it's going to do it for today's video. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.